In this video, I'll be showing you how to share a Google Slides or a Google document with your students so that they can use something that you have purchased from Teachers Pay Teachers or something that you've created on your own. So first I begin by opening up the file that I want to share with them. Now, with this, you don't have to do that. It's not a requirement, but I will show you in just a minute how it makes it a little bit easier if you have already opened it up. So maybe that means you've searched your Google Drive. Maybe that means you have made a copy from something that you've purchased on Teachers Pay Teachers. Whatever the case is, I like to open it up in advance. Then I switch to Google Classroom and I find the class that assignment would need to go to. I choose Classwork, Create, and then Assignment. I might title it, for me, I do Making Words, and we work on it for an entire week. I can add instructions if needed. A lot of times I don't, but you certainly could. And then I choose Add, Google Drive, and if it is something that you have just recently opened, it will be here in your recent files. So for me, that's always easy to open it up in advance, but if that is not something that you have done, you can go to My Drive, or you can search. So I could search Making Words, and maybe I want week 3. And all of my Making Words will pop up as things that I've used in the past. And so I could link any of these items. I'm going to go back to recent for the purpose of this video, choose week 2, and I'm going to share that then with my students. This is a really important feature and will vary really depending on what you're sharing with your students. So if it is something that you only want them to look at or to view, then just the way it comes will be exactly what you need to do. Maybe you want them to be able to edit the file, or what I use most often is make a copy for each student. Let's say student number 1 opens this and they spell all of the words. Then when student number 2 opens it, if I've chosen students can edit the file, then every student is going to see what they have already done. But if you choose make a copy for each student, then each student will have their own copy, no answers, no shared documents, that kind of thing. I have used students can edit the file for like group writing passages or group projects on Google Slides. So there are reasons why you might want to do each of those, but I would say most often for digital learning, we're going to be making a copy for each student. I, again, always usually give 10 points, but you could do ungraded. You could make it worth 20 points, 50 points, 5 points, whatever works with your grading system. And this topic section is if you were going to have maybe one class, but you want to give this topic as spelling or reading or math or writing or whatever, and you can assign it a due date. And then there are 2 options up here in the corner. I could click Assign and it would assign this right away. It would go to my students as soon as I click the button. What I use a lot of the time is the scheduling feature. So I will click Schedule and I can choose any date or any time. So a lot of times what I like to do is sit down and schedule all of these for the upcoming week or weeks. So if it's something that with this particular document, we work on this same thing every single day for an entire week. So I might schedule something for the 13th. I might schedule week 3 for the 20th. I might schedule week 4 for the 27th. And now I have 3 weeks worth of spelling done and ready for my students. After we do this, we hit schedule. So tomorrow at 8 o'clock, this will go live and students will be able to edit that. The same process works in a very similar way with a Google document. So just like here in my recent, we had a Making Words in Google Slides. You could also share something that was in Google Docs. It works in the exact same fashion.